Good afternoon, and welcome to the second award ceremony of the 2021 Enactus Canada National Exposition. My name is Nicole Almond, President of Enactus Canada. Bonjour et bienvenue à tous à notre deuxième cérémonie de l'Exposition nationale. For those of you that were just watching our Student Entrepreneur final round of competition, proudly presented by HSBC Bank Canada, welcome back. For anyone just tuning in, thanks for joining us. This afternoon, we're going to announce our Enactus national finalists, the winners of the HSBC Women's Entrepreneurial Leadership Awards, and our 2021 Student Entrepreneur National Champion. But first, we have a special guest joining us, Ivan Joseph. Ivan's career focuses on helping individuals and teams excel. He helps people develop the confidence, grit, and optimism to achieve at the highest level. And, little known fact, over a decade ago, he coached an Enactus team on his campus as they prepped for Enactus World Cup. Business leaders and organizations, including Olympic teams, seek him out to learn his insights and practical techniques. Ivan speaks at conferences around the world on teamwork, leadership, and culture building, and we are so thrilled to have him here with us today. Ivan, welcome, good to see you.
How are you? Thank you, thank you. I love the great introduction and revealing my little secret connection to Enactus, so it's great to be here.
Amazing. Well, Ivan, I'll hand it over to you. Why don't you get started?
Thank you very much. I wish I was in a fancy studio like you folks, but you know what? For those of you who are out there, thank you for having me. You know, my connection with Enactus goes back probably, I'm going to say, good night, 20 years or so. I coached at a small university in Iowa, Graceland University, and my soccer team was international. They had quite the amount of talent, and they would always get selected to be a part of Enactus. It was really a prestigious thing on our campus. And when they won the national championships in the Midwest, at an event in the Midwest, I remember going to celebrate. And I remember sitting in the audience and seeing my folks on stage, and my fingers were crossed and just so nervous. And when they were done, just like, you breathe that sigh of relief. So I can imagine the tenseness and the nervousness and sometimes the fear and the doubt that comes in. But I'll tell you this, today I'm going to speak to you about the magical skill that I taught that team way back then, which went on to win that national championship and finish second in the world. That the most important thing that you can have is self-confidence, no matter what may happen. And I know there's only 4 teams getting selected to go to the next level, but stop and let go of whatever you didn't achieve and just remember of all the great things you did achieve on this journey towards excellence. So people say, what do you mean self-confidence? What does that mean? And when I talk about that, I speak about that, I mean the genuine belief in your ability to accomplish the task at hand. And it's no magical pill. It's no magic button that you're going to say, I'm going to take this and all of a sudden, yes, I'm confident. Yes, I can do anything. What I'm referencing is this genuine belief that comes through repetition, repetition, repetition. You don't wake up in the morning and just say, I'm going to have this physics test. I got it. Or I got this SIFE presentation. I got this Enactus presentation. I got this, no problem. Count me in. It doesn't work that way. So the first thing is, I want you to remember how much you've prepared to be on the stage and to be in this moment. You have honed this, you have practiced this, you have worked it over and over, and you have gone on over every detail. And so in order for you to really be invested in yourself and remember how great you are, recall that repetition, 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 because that is the key of what builds excellence and greatness. When I speak about how do you build your self-confidence and you get past repetition, the next thing is you got to control the things that you're saying inside your head. That negative talk that can spiral you down, that can make you start to doubt yourself and believe all the critical feedback that comes there. There's lots of folks that are not going to think you're great. Absolutely. There's people that you're competing against. There might be a boss out there. There might be an ex-boyfriend, ex-girlfriend, ex-roommate. They're going to come at you all the time. Why did you get that? Why are you getting to be the presenter? I should be there. Why did you get the job? That should be me. The more you listen to that and pay attention to that, the more it will affect your thoughts, your feelings, and your beliefs about yourself. And soon as your thoughts influence your beliefs, it influences your actions. If somebody says, you hear somebody like that, she can't present. I don't know why she's up there. Oh, he's no good at that logical, critical puzzle. No way. Why is he in that position? When you get there, you will start to say, yeah, maybe they're right. uh-oh. And you'll start to internalize that. And then all of a sudden you will go timidly. You will go with apprehension. You will go, well, maybe, sort of, kind of. And before you know it, your actions will result in this place where you'll make mistakes, where you won't go boldly, where because of your tentativeness, you will overlook something and you won't take the risk that you will need in order to make innovation happen. So I want you to remember that you need to get away from the people who will tear you down. You're like, what? Get away from the people who will tear you down? Absolutely. There's always going to be people who don't believe in you. Always. That's just the nature of life. And so you need to choose is, are you going to invest in them? Are you going to hang out with them? Are you going to make them your inner circle? Or are you going to limit your interaction with them? And sometimes that might be a professor. Sometimes it might be a boss or a family member, and it's hard. You can't just kick them out of your life, but you can set up boundaries. You can put up these areas that will say, not today. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not hanging out there in my free time. This is where I want to be. When you start to put up these boundaries and you get away from the people who are just here to tear you down, who are there to belittle you, who are there to tell you why you're not good, then you'll start to change the way that you start to internalize that same negative thought. We all have negative thoughts that play in our head. Oh gosh, I wish I was skinnier. I wish I was good in math. I wish I had hair. I wish I looked like this. I wish I was born here. I wish I got into this school. I'm no good at this. I'm no good at that. Eventually what happens is you will start to believe it. And so I want to take a page from my professional coaching life, right? These are known as thought stopping exercises, whatever they might be. Physical gestures that stop the negative thought. Stop the negative thought and replace it with a positive statement, a positive affirmation. When you do that, the negative thought washes away from you and boom, comes in. There's enough people out there telling you what you're not good at. Why do you want to tell yourself? And you're like, well, I don't know. I don't believe in that affirmation. I don't believe in that stuff. That's voodoo. That's warm, fuzzy talk. That won't happen here. Let me share with you a story. I'm going to share with you a story. When I came from Ryerson University, or when I came to Ryerson University about a decade ago, I came and I was the director of athletics. Now, it was a major university. 20,000, 28,000 students at the time. I think it's since doubled almost. It's well over 40. But at that time, I came from a town of 1,000 people and a university that had only 1,200 students. I was the director of athletics. You want to talk about somebody who didn't believe in themselves? It was me. I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know how to work budgets. I don't know how to manage people. I don't know how to lead. I don't know how to do a strategic plan. I don't want to ask anybody because I don't want them to know that I'm dumb and I don't know what I'm doing. You want to talk about imposter syndrome, that feeling where you don't feel like you belong? That was this guy. So I'm like, okay, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to take over soccer coaching because I was a soccer coach for a bunch of years. I won a national championship. I've coached players that make millions of dollars. I'm going to coach the soccer team here at Ryerson. That's where I'm good at. And I'll show everybody that I'm a great leader. So I take over the soccer team, which had a poor record, never made the playoffs, just always really bad. Like, well, I know how to do this with one eye open. And in that first 2.5 weeks of that season, oh boy, did you see my magic. I lost more games in those 2.5 weeks than my 5 years combined previously. I kid you not. I panicked. Oh my goodness, what have I done? What have I done? I'm not good. I started to have fear again and self-doubt. And I'm like, this guy who used to be the not one time, not two time, but 6-time national coach of the year, who set all these records, was failing and was humiliated. And everybody could see it because they knew who I was and they knew my resume. Is this guy good at anything? Why did we bring him here? And I'll never forget, this story isn't really about me, but this story is about this next young man that comes. Out of the Ryerson pine trees comes this guy, and his name is Kyle. He says, Coach Munn, and he's from the Caribbean, so he has a Caribbean accent. He goes, I saw your TED talk on the skill of self-confidence. I put it on my dream board. I read The Secret. I want to come play for you. And I look at this man who's got a muscle on top of a muscle and this chiseled specks of pecs and quadriceps and abs of steel. And I'm like, whoa, thank you. I look up to the heavens and I say, thank you, Jesus. It's like manna fell down. I said, come along, my Caribbean brother, come to practice. Because I look over here to my right and here's my team that has like lost 6-0, 8-0, all these knock-kneed, skinny little guys. And I'm like, thank you. I need this. He shows up to practice the next day and he is Usain Bolt fast. I'm talking a streak of jet black lightning, ebony, smooth, and silk, just blazing down the field. And he kicks the ball, boom, and he's like a donkey. He is terrible. I'm talking terrible. He can't kick his way out of a paper bag. He goes to head the ball, and there's like an octagon on his head. I don't know what corner it's going to hit. I don't know. And he looks at me with these big puppy dog eyes. Coach Mann, did I make the team? I don't want to break his heart. I don't want to crush his dream. Nobody likes that. Kyle, can you be our equipment manager? Long story short, he becomes our equipment manager. He practices all year. He hits the weight room. He trains when he can. And he shows up for practice the next year again. A little bit faster, a little bit stronger, a little bit fitter. And I'm like, oh, not bad, not bad. And all of a sudden, he's in that tryout. And guess what? Yeah, he still doesn't make it. This ain't no Rudy happy ever after, Notre Dame story, folks. He's just not good enough. But like any good player and any good person who experiences failure, he comes and seeks feedback. Coach, what do I got to do to make this team? And I said, Kyle, I got a player over here that's an all-Canadian. I got a next player over here. It's even better. And this third one is the best yet. And he's just a first year. It's almost impossible for you to make this team. What do you think Kyle hears? But you're saying there's a chance, eh, coach? In order to be confident, you need to interpret your failures and your setbacks differently. But you're saying there's a chance. Well, maybe, I don't know. No, absolutely not. Thank God he doesn't try out the next year. The fourth year, I call up a player or a coach from the community. I say, hey, I need these players. I need a player for center back. We're short. We've got a great team here, but can you send me some center backs? Because I've got none at this tryout. And he's like, okay, all right. Now, I'm looking at this and I see it. I'm sitting at Lamport Stadium in the heart of Toronto one day, and out from the fields in this glistening sunset comes this guy. And I see the shadow, and guess who it is? It's Kyle again. I cut him once. I already cut him twice. I don't have the heart to cut him 3 times. Oh, but I got to let him try out because Canada is the land of equal opportunity. So he tries out. He's not bad. Down to 50 players, down to 25 players, down to 10 players, down to the final 3 players. And guess what? He still does not make the team. Again, no happy ending, but I don't want to tell them there. They're all looking at me with these big puppy dog brown eyes. They say, hey, guess what, guys? We're going to play Syracuse and then Hartwick and then Guelph. I'll call you before we cross the border. And, I'll let you know which one will meet us at Guelph when we get there. And in my haste to get the number out before I hit roaming charges, after we get on the bus, I called the wrong number. And coach, guess who answers? Kyle. And I panic. The director of athletics, Dr. Ivan Joseph, professional coach, I panic. Can you meet us at Guelph? Coach, I made the team. No, just meet us at Guelph. I didn't know what to do. My assistant's like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, what am I going to say? Prank? No. I called the right guy and he makes it. We play Syracuse. We don't smell the goal. We lose 6-0. Oh my gosh. The worst part of it is my starting center back, he's out with a head injury. Oh, I got a few more though. We can rehabilitate him. We play Hartwick. We bounce back. We win 2-1. My starting center back out with a knee injury for the year. Oh my goodness. Okay, I got another player and I got somebody I could put and I can meld into this. The night before we played Guelph, we drive back to Toronto area and into Guelph. My starting center back who I put in the game gets food poisoning. I've got no choice. I look down on my bench to my left and the right, there's nobody there. I got to put this guy, Kyle, in the match. The guy I cut not once, not twice, and I called by accident. I got no choice. Now, before I tell you the rest of the story, let me remind you of my credentials. Let me put them here and put them in the parking lot. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4. I'm a 6-time coach of the year. I've coached at world championships. I've coached Olympic qualifiers, blah, 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 blah. Take all that stuff and put it over here and just remember it. Kyle, who I put in the game because I have no other choice, plays like a man possessed. I'm talking he chases guys down from a breakaway and stops them from scoring. The ball going to cross the line. He slides on the turf, loses his skin and scrapes it all up and stops the ball from going in the net. There's a corner kick that's going at 0-0. He jumps up there, boom, scores the game-winning goal. He is ferocious and incredible. At the end of the game, he's declared man of the match by our team. In my 25-year coaching career, I've only had one undefeated season. It also happened to be the first time a Ryerson men's soccer team made it to the national tournament. Guess who my starting center back was that year? Kyle. It's a long story, but what is the moral of the story? And please don't say what a poor judge of talent I am, which is also true. If there was anybody that should have told Kyle he wasn't good enough, it was this guy with all those fancy credentials that I put over there in the parking lot. But the most important thing I want you to get from this is, who do you give your power away to? I was a 6-time coach of the year, and Kyle said, yeah, but not today. I had won championships, but not today. Every single player that I had coached as a center back had been either an All-American, an All-Canadian, or a professional making millions of dollars. That position that he played was my bread and butter. But Kyle did not give his power away. And I want you to think about, who do you let take you away from your goals? Or what setback will you say, yeah, you're right, I can't be excellent. Yeah, you're right, I can't be good. And when I say get away from the people who will tear you down, when I say stop the negative thinking, I want you to think about that when you're expecting all of these failures. It wasn't like Kyle just showed up a little magical and did nothing. Every year he came back faster, he came back stronger, he came back more technically fit. He worked at his game. But most importantly, what he did was in between his ears, what he told himself, the power of positive thinking and powerful positive affirmations. A 2006 study by Lou Bromowski showed the science of affirmations. Those positive, strong statements that you say to yourself. Here are my 3. Nobody outworks me. I can learn anything. And I am the captain of my ship and the master of my fate. When I came from a small town of 1,200 students and a 1,200 university, and I was in this big Toronto, I'm like this, oh my God, stop. I can learn this. Nobody outworks me when it doesn't come easy. I am the captain of my ship and the master of my fate when I felt overwhelmed. Lou Bromowski's study said if you do 3 affirmations a day and you're in the creative problem-solving world or creative producing world, meaning marketing, collateral, publications, you increase your productivity by 17%. That's not bad, almost 20%. Here's where it gets better. If you're in the analytic problem-solving world, logistics, complex problems, diagnostics, you think about it in the medical field, what is wrong with this person? Engineering, we got to solve for X, right? Oh man, logistics and transformation and details. Okay, 3 affirmations a day, you're 27 to 29% quicker to solve complex problems. Wow, that's not just voodoo, that's not magic. Here's the kicker though. If you're in the revenue generation world, sales, you are in the cabbage producing industry, right? 3 affirmations a day, 37 to 39% average increase in revenue generation. When's the last time you reminded yourself of how good you are, how strong you are, how excellent you are, right? And I'm not saying you got to tell everybody else, but I wanted you to remind yourself, I am the captain of my ship and the master of my fate. I can learn anything and nobody outworks me. You're all going to experience failure. That's what happens from high achievers, people who are driven, who pursue innovation. And how you reflect on that and what you tell yourself will really dictate your excellence. And sometimes you got to remember that you have a role, not just to get away from the people who will tear you down, not just to worry about your own self-confidence, but how do you build others? How do you build that in the people you're leading, in the folks that you're a part of? And I want to think about, are you a negative person or a critical person? The negative people who give that feedback, why it won't work, why it's wrong, what's going on, that's a terrible idea, here's what won't work, versus the critical. This isn't good, this isn't right. Have you thought about this? This isn't what I'm looking for because X, Y, and Z. Here's where I'd like you to move towards. Get away from those people who are negative, who will always just tell you and just bring you down into this spiral so that you get this self-fulfilling prophecy of negativity. And move towards those people who will really invest in you, who believe in you, who will tell you why things won't work, but perhaps we'll tell you, have you thought about this? Have you thought about this? Have you thought about this? You need confidence. And remember that when I say confidence, it's different than ego, because sometimes people get caught up in that. Confidence is what you tell yourself. Imagine you're that kid at the grade school picnic where the three-legged race or the ball toss or the 100-meter was going. Do you put your ribbons on and walk around at the track and field meet, first place, second place? Yes, I'm excellent. That's ego. That's you telling everybody else how great you are. Or do you put your ribbons in your bag? You get home at night, you put them on and you look in the mirror, it's like, yes, I am a champion. I am excellent. There's nothing wrong with telling yourself how great you are. We all need to do it. We don't need to tell others. That's the ego. But we need to remind ourselves. Because at the end of the day, if you don't believe in yourself, who will? But more importantly, if you believe in yourself, the rest of the world will too. Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs and the square holes, the ones who see things differently. They have no respect for the rules. You can ignore them, you can vilify them. About the only thing you can't do is change them because they see things differently. Because the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. That's a poem I always shared with every Enactus team I trained. It's from 1997 Apple commercial from Steve Jobs. And I loved it because when those words were going, you saw Mahatma Gandhi, you saw Amelia Earhart, you saw Thomas Edison, Jim Henson, all these people who were told they were not good enough, that they weren't going to happen, it wasn't going to make it work for them. And that last line, because the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. That's why you chose to be engaged in Enactus. It wasn't about profit. It wasn't about revenue generation. It was about leaving this world and this place better than we found it. And so remember, every time you have setback, be clear on your purpose, be confident, believe in yourself, and the rest of the world will too. All the best and good luck at the rest of Nationals.
Ivan, thank you so much for being here with us. This was exactly what I think we needed today. Thank you so much for sharing your words of wisdom and inspiration. And on behalf of all of our students, just thank you so much for being here with us today, Ivan.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me, Nicole. All the best to all of you folks competing, and congratulations on making it so far here.
Thanks so much, Ivan. We'll talk to you soon. And I think what a great message as we head into an awards ceremony where we're going to name some winners. I think what we need to remember is that being part of Enactus, the competition is one piece of it. It's an important piece. But I know that when I talk about why I'm part of this organization, to be honest, it's not about your projects. It's about the change that we see in each and every one of you. As you start off as first-year students who are sometimes scared to speak up in a meeting, to turning into the students that we see on a final round stage presenting in front of thousands of people and dozens of CEOs. That's why we do what we do. And I thought that this message from Ivan was the perfect thing for the change makers in our network to hear. And on that note, it's time to give out some awards.
Enactus to me means passion,
purpose,
empowerment,
teamwork.
The Enactus Canada Community Service Leadership Recognition Program sets out to recognize hardworking students for their time and efforts invested in Enactus activities. All students receiving this award will receive a digital badge to recognize their efforts. And I'd like to specifically thank the following students who reached the silver level with a total of more than 500 hours of service this year. And a round of applause for the students who achieved the gold level, investing over 1,000 hours in Enactus over the last year. On behalf of the communities and individuals you have helped, thank you. All students receiving gold and silver level watch your email for an invitation to a year-long membership for LinkedIn Learning in recognition of your work.
Hi, my name is Vishwa and I'm from Enactus Lakehead. And one of the reasons why mental health is really important to me is that it helps you excel in life and have a positive outlook if you are doing well mentally. And it helps you sustain relationships around you as well. And one of the things that I do to promote my mental well-being is I like to hang out with my friends. I like to keep in touch with them over phone calls or through Instagram, sending each other funny pictures, relatable content, and keeping in touch with my family as well, with my sister and my cousins, and just making sure we're doing all right.
Good afternoon to all. Bonjour à tous. I am very thrilled to be here on behalf of HSBC Bank Canada to help present this year HSBC Women's Entrepreneurial Leadership Awards. So at HSBC, we are very committed to helping develop the future skills of business innovation to help our communities thrive. That is why we have been partnered with Enactus on the HSBC Women Entrepreneurial Leadership Awards for more than 10 years now, very actively supporting emerging entrepreneurial female leaders and recognizing those who are achieving extraordinary results. So earlier today, we announced the 6 finalists from across the country, and in just a moment, we will name our national winner. And I am very pleased to share that in recognition of their entrepreneurial leadership achievement, this exceptional young woman will receive a 1,000 bursary, a 2,500 project grant for their team, and will be paired with a HSBC leadership mentor to support their growth as entrepreneurial leader. So very last words on my side. Félicitations à tous les nominés. Congratulations again to all the nominees. Thank you very much.
Congratulations to the 6 finalists for the HSBC Women's Entrepreneurial Leadership Award. Sandra Adderley Melbourne from George Brown College, Adriana Burnett from Nova Scotia Community College, Ivany, Andrea Dyke from Lambton College, Navy Nguyen from Cape Breton University, Nicole Sapia from Okanagan College, Natalie Suzur from the University of Windsor, and the 2021 HSBC Woman Entrepreneurial Leader of the Year, who will receive an additional $1,500 bursary and $2,500 project grant for their team, is Natalie Suzur from the University of Windsor. Let's hear from her team.
Natalie is more than deserving for this award.
You were the glue that held the Liberty Project together this year.
And she has truly put her all into the Liberty Project.
I think back to the very beginning of the year when we were trying to figure out how on earth we would make this project happen. And honestly, you made it happen.
Congratulations to you, Natalie.
Congratulations again.
The most valuable skill that I got out of being an Enactus student was the ability to be really adaptable and willing to learn. And when you're working on a project and creating a business, you don't know everything and the people around you don't know everything. So you figure out how to make it work and you figure out the skills that you need and the people that you need to bring in to help you do that. And you just learn so much and you learn to adapt and change as things change and move on the fly. And I think that was probably the most valuable skill that I learned as a student and something that I still use every day.
Now, it's time to announce the teams who are moving on to the Enactus final round of competition this Thursday. Yesterday, 20 teams competed in the semifinal round of competition with the hopes of getting a chance to vie for the title of Enactus National Champion in the final round of competition. This year, we were thrilled to have Alterna Savings as the presenting sponsor of this prestigious round of competition.
At Alterna Savings, we are proud of our long history as a community-focused credit union. We know that strong and healthy communities are built by ensuring each of us can reach our full potential. And that's what Enactus students are doing on campuses across the country, helping all Canadians reach their full potential. After 8 years of supporting Enactus, we are still blown away by your innovation, creativity, and commitment to helping communities thrive across Canada. Now, more than ever, we recognize the importance of supporting the next generation of leaders. We know what a critical role this competition plays in the Enactus program and how important it is to recognize the success of these teams. That is why we are pleased to support the Enactus semifinal round of competition, recognizing the top tier of Enactus teams in Canada. Congratulations to all the teams being named one of the top 20 teams in the network. This is an impressive feat. Whether you move on to the final round or not, know that we could not be prouder of each and every one of you. Thank you for all that you do and for allowing us at Alterna to be a part of it. But we all know we are here to announce the 2021 Enactus National Competition finalists. So let's get started.
We will begin with League A. The team advancing to the final round of competition is Okanagan College. From League B, our national finalist is Queen's University. Moving on from League C is Lambton College. And finally, the team advancing from League D is Wilfrid Laurier University. Congratulations to our finalist teams, and truly to every team that competed in every round of competition. But now to draw the order for the final round. We're going to use the wheel again, mostly because I just think it's pretty fun. So finalist teams, the order that your name comes up on the wheel is the order that you will be presenting. So our first presenting team will be Okanagan College. Next up, Wilfrid Laurier University. Presenting third is Lambton College, and wrapping things up is Queen's University. So there you have it, our final round of competition for Thursday afternoon. Finalist teams, we are holding a briefing over Zoom immediately following this ceremony, at 5 p.m. So please contact your program manager if you don't get the link in the next 20 to 30 minutes, but join so you can get all of the details.
Hello, my name is Addie Schneider and I'm a member with Enactus, University of the Fraser Valley, here in Abbotsford, British Columbia. Mental health to me is so important because just like any other aspect of our health, it helps us become the best version of ourselves. We can thrive as individuals when we're in a positive headspace. A way I like to promote my own mental well-being is by going for a walk or stretching, doing something that I enjoy to help calm myself and de-stress.
HSBC Bank is so thrilled to support this competition, which recognizes and celebrates Canadian university and college students who balance full-time course loads with full-time business. Along with receiving a $10,000 cash prize, today's national champion will be presented with the John Dobson Cup, a shining symbol of their determination and dedication to succeed as young entrepreneur. Once again, we're so impressed with all 3 finalists, and like you, we cannot wait to hear the results. Congratulations, félicitations to all competing students. I'll hand it back over to Enactus to announce the results.
Thank you, Charles, and a huge thank you to HSBC Bank Canada for their continued support of this and the full suite of entrepreneurial programming you make possible for our students. So now, for the results. I brought the envelopes back just because I really miss them from our in-person events. So, the 2021 Student Entrepreneur National Runner-Up is Mohamed Khalil, student at Polytechnique Montréal and owner of ProCycle. And finally, our 2021 Student Entrepreneur National Champion, who will receive a $10,000 cash prize and take home the coveted John Dobson Cup. Azadeh Desmalchi, student at the University of Ottawa and owner of Vital Tracer. Congratulations, Azadeh. It was tough competition this year. What an accomplishment. But don't worry, everyone, the event is not over yet. Tomorrow, we have the final rounds of our pitch competitions, as well as our first ever virtual Enactus Career Fair. Our partners are really excited to talk to you about job opportunities at their organizations. So if you haven't already, just scroll down in this agenda, toggle that open, and get yourself registered. Then we'll see you back here on Thursday for the Enactus final round of competition and our final awards ceremony, where we'll announce the winners of the pitch competitions and our 2021 Enactus National Champion, who will move on to represent Canada at the Enactus World Cup this fall. You can find all the details further down on this page. Merci et on se voit jeudi. Thank you everyone for tuning in today, and I'll see you on Thursday.